They had everything: fame, fortune, and millions of fans. But behind the flashing lights and roaring crowds lies a truth few ever see: the devastating cost of fame. The broken marriages, estranged parents, and children left behind tell a story no one glamorizes. Today, we uncover the heartbreaking reality of what happens when success replaces family, and why some stars call it their greatest regret. 10. The hidden price of stardom. Fame promises everything: wealth, recognition, validation. But what it takes from you is something no one warns you about. For many celebrities, success doesn't come gradually. It hits like a storm. One day you're unknown, the next you can't walk outside without cameras flashing. Suddenly, your entire identity revolves around your image. You stop being a son, a daughter, a parent. You become a brand. Agents, contracts, tours, interviews, they all come first. And in the chase to stay relevant, family often becomes an afterthought. What looks like a dream life from the outside is often built on personal sacrifices that leave emotional scars long after the applause fades. 9. Michael Jackson, the king who lost his childhood. Michael Jackson's story is perhaps the most tragic example of what fame can take. He didn't just lose touch with his family, he lost his childhood. At age 5, he was already performing with the Jackson 5 under his father Joe Jackson's strict and often abusive management. While other kids were playing, Michael was rehearsing. When they slept, he was recording. His life was a production line of perfection. No breaks, no privacy, no freedom. Years later in interviews, Michael would confess that his biggest wish wasn't more fame. It was simply to be normal. He said, "I remember going to bed sometimes crying because I wanted to go outside and play." He reached a level of fame no one has ever matched, but the price was isolation, loneliness, and lifelong trauma. Michael's story reminds us that sometimes the cost of fame isn't losing your family, it's losing yourself before you even get the chance to live. 8. Angelina Jolie and the rift with her father. Angelina Jolie grew up in Hollywood royalty. Her father, Jon Voight, was a celebrated actor, but their relationship was anything but picture perfect. When Jolie's parents divorced, she was just 1 year old. As she rose to fame, her relationship with her father became strained. Voight often spoke publicly about her personal life, calling her mentally ill during one interview. That was the breaking point. Angelina cut him off completely, even dropping his surname for years. She once said, "I don't feel a need to have a relationship with my father right now." Decades later, they reconciled for the sake of her children, but the wound remained. Angelina's story shows how fame can turn family conflicts into public entertainment, magnifying pain that should have stayed private. 7. The tragic tale of Macaulay Culkin, from child star to family feud. Macaulay Culkin was the biggest child star of the 1990s. Home Alone made him a household name and millions of dollars. But behind the laughter, his real life was falling apart. His parents, Kit Culkin and Patricia Brentrup, weren't married, and when they separated, they began fighting over Macaulay's fortune. At just 15, he took them to court to remove them as his legal guardians. He later said, "I didn't legally emancipate myself. I just removed my parents' names from my trust fund." That's how broken it was. A teenager had to protect himself from his own parents. Culkin eventually left Hollywood to find peace, saying fame had stolen his childhood and his family. It's a haunting reminder that sometimes the people who push you toward fame are the ones you need protection from. 6. Beyoncé and her father's betrayal. Beyoncé was groomed for stardom from a young age, and her father, Matthew Knowles, was her manager and driving force behind Destiny's Child. For years, they worked as an unstoppable team, but when success exploded, cracks began to form. In 2011, Beyoncé made a shocking announcement. She was parting ways with her father as her manager. Reports surfaced of financial disputes and personal betrayal. It was later revealed that Matthew had fathered a child outside his marriage, causing immense strain in the family. In an interview, Beyoncé admitted, "It took a lot for me to trust again. I needed to find out who I was without my father." They eventually rebuilt a relationship, but it was never the same. It's a painful example of how fame can not only separate families, it can expose their deepest fractures to the world. 5. Selena Gomez, choosing health over her family's expectations. Selena Gomez's rise from Disney star to global pop icon wasn't smooth. Her mother, Mandy Teefey, managed her early career. But when Selena fired her in 2014, tabloids painted it as betrayal. Behind the headlines was a more complicated truth. Selena was struggling with anxiety, depression, and lupus. She needed space, not management. In an interview, Selena said, "I had to do what's best for me," and that meant making decisions that not everyone understood. For years, her relationship with her mother remained distant. Both eventually reconciled, but only after Selena prioritized her mental health over her career expectations. It's a story of painful boundaries, proof that even in fame, family relationships are fragile and human. 4. Justin Bieber, the confession that broke millions of hearts. Justin Bieber was barely 15 when he became a global superstar. Overnight, he went from small-town boy to international obsession. But fame came faster than he could process. By his late teens, he was surrounded by yes men, paparazzi, and pressure, and his relationship with his mother, Patty Millett, began to crumble. He admitted in an interview, "I was distant from my mom for about a year and a half. It was really tough. The fame that was supposed to make him happy made him feel empty." He later confessed, "I had all the success in the world, and I was still sad." Over time, Justin reconnected with his family and faith. But his story shows how fame can isolate even those with the purest beginnings. 3. Demi Lovato, fame before family. Demi Lovato's life has been a public roller coaster, from Disney stardom to addiction battles and recovery. In her documentary, Simply Complicated, Demi revealed that the pressures of fame at a young age created emotional distance from her family. Her father struggled with addiction and mental illness, and Demi often said their relationship was toxic. As her fame grew, she found herself surrounded by managers, bodyguards, and PR teams. But emotionally, she was alone. After her father's death, Demi admitted she regretted never reconciling with him. She said, "He wasn't capable of being a dad, but I still wish things were different." Her confession is raw and real, that fame doesn't fill the emptiness of unresolved love. 2. The pain behind the curtain, when fame becomes a cage. The truth is, fame doesn't just strain family bonds. It often breaks them. Parents become managers. Spouses become business partners. Children become assets. Everything personal turns professional. And before long, the people who were supposed to love you most start managing your brand instead of your heart. Fame demands control. Control over your schedule, your emotions, even your relationships. And when your entire life becomes a performance, it's easy to lose sight of who you are when the cameras stop rolling. Some celebrities walk away before it's too late. Others confess too late, when the fame remains but their family doesn't. 1. The confession that echoes across generations. At the end of it all, nearly every star who's lived through the chaos of fame says the same thing. They wish they'd spent more time with family. Jim Carrey once said, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of, so they can see that it's not the answer." It's a haunting truth. Fame gives you attention, but it can't give you connection. It buys applause, not love. It fills your calendar, but empties your soul. Many of these celebrities eventually reconnect with their families, but they admit something even harder, that some damage can't be undone. Because the cost of abandoning family for fame isn't just losing them. It's realizing too late that success means nothing when you have no one left to share it with. Behind every red carpet and award lies a story of love lost, parents estranged, and children forgotten. Fame can give you everything except the people who truly matter. Because when the lights fade and the applause ends, family is all that remains. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood truths, because sometimes the most heartbreaking stories aren't in the movies, but in real life.